cœur. Nulle trêve qu'on se lève, a dit le Seigneur. D'obéir, soyons heureux, point de tiède, de peureux, qui cela se perd sa place au banquet des cieux. D'un pas ferme jusqu'au terme, il faut s'avancer. Je m'observe qu'il préserve mon pied de glisser. Que ce monde et ses attraits ne me séduisent jamais. Si sa haine se déchaîne, que je sois en paix. Dieu de grâce, que ta face luise en mon chemin. Père tendre, viens me prendre par ta forte main. Toute puissance est à toi, subviens à ma faible foi. Ma victoire, c'est ta gloire, ô mon Dieu, mon roi. Donc, nous allons commencer de plein fouet. Nous vous invitons à vous mettre debout, tandis que nous allons demander à Dieu de nous assister. Comme nous te connaissons, connaissance, c'est richesse. Là, nous avons connaissance, c'est bien, nous avons pouvoir dans nous. Donc, nous avons intérêt pour que nous toujours plaignons que pas de programme. Donc, il y a un programme qui fait et nous disons merci le fait que nous présents dans mes temps. Éternel notre Seigneur et notre Dieu, nos âmes te louent et te bénissent. Toi qui nous as créés à ton image et à ta ressemblance, en dépit du fait que cette image a été oblitérée par le péché, mais par le sacrifice de Jésus-Christ, tu as rétabli cette image en nous et nous te disons merci. Alors que des personnes qui sont bien formées veulent mettre leur connaissance à la disposition de ton Église pour qu'en tant qu'Église, nous puissions continuer de grandir. Nous allons avoir cette table ronde, que tu sois avec les intervenants, et qu'à l'issue de cette table ronde, chaque personne ayant participé à ce programme puisse te rendre témoignage. Pardonne nos péchés, bénis le département d'éducation de cette Église, bénis tous ceux qui composent ce département. Nous t'en supplions au nom de Jésus. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. As we said earlier, thanks for coming, and we're having the panel. I know Claire, I know, right? This is Waslyn Cook, this is Vlad Jonathan, and this is Miss Lauren, and who else? Laura.
Andy.
Okay, this is Miss Laura and Andy. I'm gonna let to themselves, they're gonna present themselves. I'm not gonna do that for them. So I hope you have your questions ready afterward. And we have about 1 hour and 30 minutes. So we're gonna start with Rosalind. And after each person, probably, after that, you're gonna ask the questions, or probably you're gonna ask them questions. Okay. Okay, Rosalind, Cook.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to talk a little bit English and also Creole for those of you actually speak Creole only. My background is academic advisor. I'm also a data coordinator at two schools in Pompano. Andrews High School is a charter school, and Pompano High School. I'm the data coordinator at the Andrews High School and the academic advisor at Pompano High School. Moi-même, c'est background, moi also some 7 days, born and raised in 7 days. For those of you who came from Cape Haitian, because I have some cousins that I've seen so far outside. If you know Pastor Jeff Pluvios, that's my uncle. So, I'm actually here to help the youth. There's a lot of resources available for you guys out there, especially for those of you who came from Haiti or the ones that's in school right now that's not even from Haiti. So there's a lot of resources available. Once you go to school, all you need to know what to ask your academic advisor. Once you know your thing, they know that you know it. They're never gonna give you something wrong, especially if you go and taking classes. There's classes that you are taking that you're not supposed to be taking. That's classes that you're supposed to be taking that can help you. They're not giving it to you. So for example, we have a lot of honor classes, a lot of ACE classes that can help you with your college and bright future scholarship as well. If you are taking the ACE classes, you definitely qualify for bright future scholarship because college is very expensive. My son actually, first year in college, it cost me a lot of money for him. So if you guys can get some scholarship, and White Fisher Scholarship is A+ when you do the ACE, when you're in the ACE program. If you can do your dual enrollment, Wild College have a great program for dual enrollment. You guys are free to go to your academic advisor and ask for those classes. If you are taking any honor classes or you failing, you are going to ask your academic advisor for a paper to fill out to enroll for the dual enrollment so you don't lose the college credits. I'm here today to provide you with some of the resources. I'm supposed to bring some flyers. Actually, I have a PowerPoint. I'm going to give it to Colleen. I'm going to email it to her, that PowerPoint, because I didn't have access to email it today. But that PowerPoint, we have the flyers, and the flyers have a lot of opportunities, things that's available right now that you guys can have to jump on it before school starts. So we have a lot of honor classes, like pre-cal, any classes that's honor, math honor, U.S. history honor. Those classes are the classes that when you are doing it in high school, those are the college credits. So once you go to your academic advisor, if you're capable of doing those classes or they're giving you those classes and you are failing, you need to ask to enroll, to dual enrollment, so that can help you so you don't lose your college credits. So anybody have any questions so far about honor classes, ACE classes, and dual enrollment?
Do every high school over here has the program for Bright Future? Or some of them has it?
Bright Future is classes that you're taking, those ACE classes with the honor classes. Once you're taking those classes, you automatically qualify for Bright Future scholarship.
Or it could be in any high school?
Yes.
Okay.
if you're taking those classes, you qualify for Bright Future Scholarship, any high school. If your student is taking honor classes, your kids, your sons are taking honor classes, you should apply for Bright Future Scholarship.
My simple question is about dual enrollment. That's the first time I ever heard that expression, so I would like to know what it is exactly.
Dual enrollment is the students that actually in high school and taking college classes at the same time. There's a lot of schools who don't offer it, but a lot of schools about to offer a college grade program for dual enrollment. That student who do it in high school classes and college classes at the same time. So that help you graduate with an associate. Any other questions? I want to pick it back with the kids that came from Haiti. Because I'm the academic advisor, I'm a Haitian, my background is Haitian. I went to school in Haiti, and I do know that when I came here, I didn't have the privilege. There were classes they were giving me I was already taking in Haiti. I didn't have my carnet, which is your transcript. I didn't have carnet with me, so they were putting me in a class Baha'i. Where I was supposed to be in 12th grade, I was put in 10th grade because I didn't have my carnet. So if you have any student here, anybody who came from Haiti, make sure you have at least 4 carnet. 4 carnet pour inscrire ti moun dans l'école. Sou yo pete ti moun dans yon classe qui pi bas et puis la pedi un paquet crédit que li te besoin qu'elle te fait Haïti. Mathématiques Haïti c'est géométrie avec algèbre 1. Ici là où venez avec carnet ou c'est 2 crédits ou gain là pour carnet à mathématiques ou gain géométrie ou gain algèbre 1, ça c'est 2 crédits total. Ti moun a dit il pas bâti moun dans yon classe algèbre en classe géométrie il pas même supposé faire parce que il fait l'Haïti déjà. Et presque tout le monde qui sont à Haïti, les ont venu faire classe ici. Mathématiques, c'est un bagage toujours passé.
Are we done with questions for Mrs. Cook? Done? Okay. I have a question. I'm sorry. We were talking about kids that are A student and dual enrollment. What about if I have kids that are that's struggling and I don't have money to pay tutoring, and what should I do?
Okay, my PowerPoint, y'all can hear me? On my PowerPoint, I do have a lot of resources. I'm gonna send it to Ms. Carleen. We have free tutoring available for you guys. There is a program, especially if you are struggling with ACT, SAT, math. It's called Khan Academy. Khan Academy is actually, you can test your own self, and it helps you a lot. It's a free tutoring program. For me, my kids use it a lot in my school, especially my Creole speaker that have a language barrier. They practice all the time, and Khan Academy help them a lot. So we have 3 different programs available. I will pass it on to Ms. Colleen, and hopefully he'll print it for you guys sometime next Saturday, so you guys gonna have those resources available. So it's easy to just create an account. Once you create an account, you can just use it anytime.
Thank you, Mrs. Cook. Anyone? We done? Okay, thank you. Now, Vlad.
Hello, hello.
Hold on, Vlad. Oh, okay. What about? I'm sorry, Vlad. High school? What about if? Oh, okay. What about Et si que moi pas sorti Haïti et que Haïti, je pense que est habitué ici hein, avec transcript haïtien. Et si donc me sorti Brésil, vous comprenez ça me dit là comment ça a fait pour moi tout. Me sorti dans high school, moi fini high school moi comment m'a venir avec transcript ça et comment il a fait et changement moi.
Si vous pas fini avec high school, it's very difficile, c'est vraiment difficile pour mettre dans une classe 9 grade, pour te dire, de pour venir ou dire que vous pas fini high school là, vous pas le mettre dans classe. Vous pas demander un papier qui dit que tu fini.
Et si me venir avec OK. Et si me venir avec Canem dans classe côté me rivé hein, Brésil.
OK, si Canem a dû finir seconde primaire, yes, ou va aller dans 9 grade.
OK. Bon, ou pas comprendre ça.
The testing is
Dis-le.
they're not going to put you in the class you need, especially if you don't.
Et si me sorti dans 9e grade, combien
Oh non, si sorti dans 9e grade.
Eh ben 9e grade ici, non 9e grade Brésil qui peut être équivalent avec haïtien. Haïti.
Okay, oui, because nous gagnons district qui determine we got a book that check the credit crédit qu'on gagne avec crédit comme équivalent et crédit Brésil là avec crédit Américain. So, why not someone notice si ti moun nan sorti Brésil, s'il gagne l'âge, yo automatically mette non grade li te supposé hier. C'est ti moun qui pral struggle le moment pour test. Parce que yo mette en classe mais
Par rapport à l'âge?
Par rapport à l'âge.
Even though venir avec transcript?
Souvent avec transcript, yo pas le mettre dans classe transcript là dit que tu fini. Tu fini 9 grade Brésil, yo pas mettre dans 10 grade. Ou fini 10 grade Brésil, la mettre dans 11 grade. Mais si pas venir avec moi même souvent mettre dans 9 grade après l'autre année, district on dit non, ti moun nan gen 20 ans, 18 ans, il supposé dans grade ça, you just mettre. Les ti moun qui pas struggle avec test. The test is going to be the struggle. They probably can pass the test.
Okay. Merci. One more question.
Oui, j'ai une question. Je connais comment je fais pour m'inscrire parce que elle même seulement nous gagne l'école, nous beaucoup de bagages de l'école ici, mais je une information.
Qui l'âge si mon nom?
Il gagne 14 ans.
OK, si il a 14 ans, il a inscrit qu'on y a là malgré the state of Florida is required that you enroll the student. Ou ka enroll student non, même si que li pas gagné. Ou pas capable inscrire ti moun non. Y a
OK.
Mais s'il pas gagné, ça soit besoin ou besoin on s'il pas gain birth certificate, ou pas besoin passeport. Si pas gain passeport besoin birth certificate li, deux proof adresse côté li rete avec ID ou parce que li pas gain l'âge.
Il y a un côté m'ta l'inscrire, je dis comme ça c'est sur internet pour me faire tout processus là.
Je ne sais pas dans quelle école, quand il va demander pour faire ça.
Non, il y a l'école qui est sous université.
Pour bien dire, nous avons pile l'école qui pas crédité, qui est dans le state Florida. Si nous avons fin fait graduate high school diplôme n'a pas voulu dire rien. Moi, il y a des gens qui graduate high school qui sont dans l'école, qui pas même qu'à jouer un job dans Broward County, dans Broward City, parce que là, on fait high school verification, ils pas crédité. So, nous besoin be careful dans quelle école nous menons. Go Florida go on packet charter school. That's why a lot of schools in Broward County are closing. You close parce que charter school a tiré. Si nous besoin bagay qui facile. So, nous besoin be careful. C'est pas bail la pas dit Broward County, Broward schools. Si you pas accredited with the Broward school under Broward County school, be careful dans l'école mais ti moun nan. Si son private school, normally you pay ti moun nan paye pour ça.
Merci beaucoup. Nous n'avons pas d'autres questions encore. Nous allons passer ensemble avec college. Vlad.
Perfect. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Vlad Jonasant. I'm an academic advisor over at Broward College. So our main priority over at being an academic advisor at Broward College is, of course, getting you guys to your ultimate goal, which is to complete a degree. whether it's an associate's, whether it's a bachelor's, or anything beyond, we set you guys up with the tools that you need in order to succeed, right? Now, like you guys have mentioned previously before, we have other programs as well, such as dual enrollment, which allows students to take classes at Broward College, getting those college credits while being a high school student. Sometimes even being able to get enough credits to graduate with your associates. Now, that is a specific program that's a little different than dual enrollment called College Academy. Now, College Academy, which is, now, this is gonna be the first thing that I'll mention about both of those programs. Not anyone can do it. Now, what I mean by that is that for a lot of these programs, they are going to look at your academic performance, okay? So over here, I wanna make sure, give you guys realistic expectations for a lot of these programs. They're amazing, right? You're able to get these college credits, you're able to start early, you're able to graduate early and all of that, but your academic performance is very important, and I wanna make sure you guys understand that now. This is going to be the same no matter where you are in your academic journey. And I'm speaking from experience. Recently, I graduated from my master's in educational psychology, right? Everywhere you go, they have a GPA requirement. So if you want to take those college academy classes, if you want to be able to graduate early, the performance that you're reflecting now is important. Now, that's not to say if you're not performing well now, you're not going to succeed, right? I'm also speaking from this experience. I've experienced the highs, and I've also experienced the lows, because I myself was in a very similar program. In fact, it was a little bit more difficult, I would say, and it was a dual enrollment. I went to a high school called FAU High School, which is where 9th grade, you're a high school student, and then 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, you're a full-time FAU student. So it's the same thing like dual enrollment, except I did it at FAU, and I did it 1 year earlier, right? Programs like this, I had colleagues, or I had classmates that were able to graduate with their bachelors before they graduated from high school, right? Now, I was not as academically gifted as them, right? So unfortunately, I can't tell you guys I did the same, right? But when it comes to that, all of these programs are very amazing, because one thing that they do is that they pay for these classes, right? A lot of times, as a parent, it's very, if you wanna send your kid to college, but sometimes the money's not there. And I'm here to tell you that Broward College, and this is the same with a lot of institutions across the state of Florida, have these programs in place to help you pay for college, right? A beautiful example is Bright Futures, right? Bright Futures, for example, you can take those ACE classes like she mentioned, or for me, they look at your GPA and your SAT scores, right? If you score high enough in that SAT score, and that SAT test is something that seniors are going to be taking at the end of the year, sometimes you can even take it before, and then your GPA, it can pay for your classes completely, right? And this is not just while you're at Broward College, they can pay for your entire bachelor's degree from start to finish. So all 4 years, you're never going to have to worry about books, tuition, fees, nothing like that. The only thing you would theoretically have to worry about is housing. But the beautiful thing with a lot of these schools is that I'm assuming everyone's here located in Broward, and these schools aren't too far, right? So with me, for example, I live with my parents. So I was able to use that money exclusively just to pay for my classes. And then I was also able to get extra scholarships. And that's the other beautiful thing. With a lot of these different programs that basically pay for your classes, they stack, right? So I was able to qualify for Bright Futures while also qualifying for other scholarships, while also applying for things like financial aid and getting that as well. So every semester, I was taking home roughly $6,000. I was essentially being paid to go to school, right? Now, looking back at it now, right, I did not enjoy it, right? Or more so, I was very irresponsible with the mindset that I had then, right? Instead of saving that money, what was I doing? I wanted a new computer, so I built a computer. I wanted the newest shoes, so I bought the newest shoes, right? And looking back at it now, those are things that, of course, I'll regret, but those experiences helped shape the mindset that I have now. So ultimately, when it comes to Broward College, right, One thing that's going to always be very important, and I want you guys to start looking into this now, is figuring out what you want to do. Now, it's not to say that you have to know what you want to do now, right? But I'm assuming some people here want to dream big. They want to become doctors. They want to become lawyers, right? If that's something that you end up wanting to do, some of these professions require you to start early, right? And some of them have even more importance, right, when it comes to grades. I've seen so many students who come back from the past, and these is not just children, these are adults, right? These are adults who are 40, 50, and they're deciding, you know what, I want to change my profession. I want to go into nursing, or I want to become a dental hygienist, or I want to become a commercial pilot. These are all programs, for example, that are offered here at Broward College. And sometimes those grades that they got from 20 years ago still affect them now, right? But despite that, we're still able to look past it and get them equipped to get started, right? So the ultimate thing that I want to make sure that you guys understand is that grades are important, right? But they're not the end-all be-all, right? But I want to make sure, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, you guys have to perform well academically depending on what you want to do in the future. If you want to be a doctor, getting C's aren't going to cut it, right? And that's just the hard truth, right? I can tell you guys to dream big, but remember, it also has to be realistic, right? The bigger the dream, the bigger the work you have to put in order to achieve it. And that's going to be the same for anything, right? Now, at Broward College, like I mentioned, we have everything, and there's even an extra scholarship at Broward College called Pledge to Success. And this is, again, it's another scholarship. This is money you never have to pay back. They just give it to you for free. And all you have to do to qualify for this is that you have to graduate from a Florida high school in that year. Your parents have to believe I make less than $100,000 a year. And that's basically it. And this will pay for up to 75 credits, completely free. This can stack with Bright Futures, which means that Bright Futures money that you would pay for your classes goes to your pocket. And then if you have financial aid, which would have paid for your classes, goes to your pocket, right? So these are we have so many opportunities that are available for students, but ultimately it comes down to being aware of it. And how do you become aware of it? You have to ask questions, right? I have so many students who come, they want to do this, they want to do that, but they don't ask questions anymore, right? That's what we do at the academic advising department here at Broward College, right? If you guys have any questions, do not be afraid to ask. No question is a stupid question. I know sometimes you guys may hear a question and you're like, oh, that's a stupid question, but that's not true, okay? I want you guys to remember, if you guys need help in anywhere in the process, that there are people who are there to support you, whether you're in high school, right? You have your guidance counselors, right? You can always reach out to them. Whether you're at Broward College, for example, you have your academic advising department, right? We have the Seahawk Outreach Services, which is where we even are able to actually give people food, give people dental hygiene products, right? We can help you with everything along the way, right? So it's not just inside the school, it's even outside of the school. We can still connect you with those resources, right? But we won't know to do that unless you ask, right? Or sometimes we can maybe tell, maybe we can let you know, but sometimes if you guys put up a face, we don't know when you need help, right? I want to make sure that you know we're going to be here all along the way, no matter, never feel it's too late. Sometimes some students give up, they think it's too late. I was just working with a 70-year-old student. She had one class left to graduate. The semester before, she failed the class because it was an online class. And she was crying with me and everything. She said, I can't do it, right? But she was passing all of her other classes, just this one class. So all she didn't have was the mindset. So I met with her every week, checked with her, right? Making sure she kept doing well in her class, keeping up with it, and she ended up passing it. So not only did she graduate with an associate in science, she actually got accepted to our bachelor's program at Broward College, right? And now she's continuing. But if she never reached out, if she never bothered to put in the effort to get help, she could have not graduated and she could have stopped right there. And now I can say she's a bachelor's student, right? So that's going to be another takeaway from this. Please do not be afraid to ask questions, and please do not be afraid to ask for help. Quite frankly, that's what we're paid to do. We're paid to help you, right? That's our job. That's our priority, is to make sure you guys succeed. And this is not just for young students. This is not just for the incoming high school students, right? There's plenty of adults. In fact, I'd argue I see more adults, right, than students because, you know, sometimes young kids, they don't want to ask questions, right? But the older adults who've lived through it, they've realized how important it is and the resources that are available to them. So I want to make sure all the young kids here know this, all the old adults know this. It's never too late, and always do not be afraid to ask questions, please. Now, with that being said, does anyone have any questions?
Thank you, Brother Jonathan. My question, yeah, I'm familiar with that name. My question for you is, what the early age they can start? And do you guys have any program for adults, like scholarship and stuff?
So I believe your first question was when like the dual enrollment starts?
Yes, how
So-
early they can start?
Got you. So dual enrollment, the earliest you can start, I believe, is 11th grade. 11th grade to 12th grade. So what you would do is you would take college classes in 11th grade, and you would also take college classes in 12th grade, right? Now, I would always encourage you to do this, especially if you have young kids, to look into a school called FAU High. Now, this is not a very easy school to get into, okay? It's definitely not. There's thousands of kids that apply, and the class size, I believe, is no more than 100 students, right? Say it again?
Classroom right now.
Yes, they built a whole new school.
Yeah,
It's-
by next year they will start taking more students.
Yeah, so I know even in that school as well, that FAU High, it's an extension of a university school called A.D. Henderson University School. And they even have a pre-K, right? So they teach grades K all the way up to 8, and then from 9 to 12, that's that FAU High. So it's not even just for high school students, and it's an amazing school over there, right? For example, 11th grade, there's something called the PSATs. Now, this is something that unfortunately is very, very, very overlooked. PSAT is essentially something, it's kind of like a test that you take. In my opinion, I would actually argue it's more important than the SAT for one specific reason. Whenever you end up taking this test and you end up pass, you can be selected to something being called a National Merit Scholar. Now, being a National Merit Scholar is no small feat, right? Unfortunately, when I was in 11th grade, I didn't care for it, right? My school, they had tutoring every single day, but you know, I lived in Fort Lauderdale. I didn't want to go to Boca. I didn't want to bother my parents. I didn't bother studying for it, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys who are in 11th grade, 10th grade, 9th grade are probably hearing about the PSAT, and you're like, I don't really care too much about the PSAT.
What is it?
It's called the PSAT. So it's like SAT, but with a P in it, and P in front of it.
And is it for?
So it's for students, I believe they take it in their 11th grade. 11th grade is when they take it. And this, students are awarded up to $100,000, depending on how they perform in that PSAT and if they can continue further, right? Because once you're selected, you have to sometimes write essays, and then from there, it keeps going on further and further from there.
It's in all the high school, right?
I believe so, yes. I think it's actually on a national level. Right. So this is something every 11th grader takes all across the US, right? So it's very, very, very important. So unfortunately, some people may be too late, right? But if you're in a middle school, you're in 9th grade, you're in 10th grade, that's something you can start looking forward to. And then I believe the other question I think he asked was the financial help. Yeah, for adults. So financial help for adults.
Oh, okay.
The biggest thing when it comes to financial help for adults is that there are scholarships. So there are some that you may not qualify for example, like Pledge to Success. That's specifically for students who are like fresh out of high school or just completed their Florida GED. So if you don't have those, the biggest one that we offer is something called financial aid. And then we also have a consolidated scholarship list. So what I mean by that is that Broward College, we have access to a bunch of different scholarships. Now, we make it easy for you. We have you fill out one application, and every single scholarship you qualify for, your information from that consolidated scholarship sheet gets sent. So you don't have to manually keep looking at all of these different scholarships and submit a different one every single time. You just submit that one scholarship, and every single scholarship that you're eligible for, they send that application to there, right? But the biggest thing in regards to financial help when it comes for adults that I've seen utilized is financial aid, often referred to as like the FAFSA, right? So I would encourage you to look into it, and it's a completely free application. You don't have to pay to submit it. All you have to do is upload your taxes, I think from 2 years ago, right? Just fill it out and then see if you qualify. Sometimes some people think they don't qualify, but they end up getting something, right? 75%, 50%. Sometimes they end up getting the full 100% coverage, right? So that FAFSA and then that consolidated scholarship list, at least at Broward College, maybe other institutions also have similar, but I can't speak on their behalf because I don't know of their processes. But at least at Broward College, there's that consolidated scholarship list. And all of this is accessible on our Broward College website. So with the Broward College website, it's very, very, very easy to navigate. Now, what I mean by that is you would just go to the Broward College website, broward.edu, and then they have a search in the top right. And any questions you can think of, you can just type it in that search, and you're going to get brought to that page. So if you have a question about scholarships, if you type scholarship, you search it, the very first thing is going to be that consolidated scholarship form. Very first thing. You're going to get all of the instructions to do everything like that, all of the scholarships that you can qualify for, all of that is accessible. If you have questions about FAFSA, same thing, financial aid. What's financial aid? You go to top right, you type in financial aid, very first thing, step-by-step instruction on how to fill it out and how you qualify, right? The other thing as well I know with Pleasure Success is the Florida residency. Now, I know for the Florida residency, you have to qualify as a Florida resident, and there is some immigration information about that. I'm not too versed in it because it's mainly through our separate department, but a lot of you likely are going to qualify for it either way, so it's not something to worry about, especially if you're a high school graduate student. But any questions you have, you just search on the top right, it's going to be right there for you.
You said the scholarship pledge to success. You said you have to be out of 12th grade right away, right?
Yes, so it has to be, so this is something that I make sure, this is for, traditionally it's mainly, so the way that it works is essentially people donated money, right? And this Pledge of Success is basically siphoning money from the people that have donated to pay for students' educations. And this is mainly directed towards those students who are fresh out of high school, right? So the students who are applying for it in fall, for example, they just graduated in June, right? The other thing as well is that it's not infinite, right? Because like I mentioned, it's from donations. So if you wait too long, it could be that all the money was already taken and it's already gone.
Oh, okay. But do they look on your academic success, like
No.
how you perform? Okay, no.
No, that's the other thing as well with Broward College. So when you start looking at bigger universities like FAU, FIU, they're going to look at your GPA, right? A lot of programs, they will have a GPA requirement for these bigger universities, right? That's why not everyone can go to UF, not everyone gets accepted, right? Because they look at your GPA when it comes to how you performed in high school, right? But oftentimes these institutions give you a second option. Sometimes they say, hey, go to a community college, like Broward College, even though we're not a community college anymore, and attain an associate in arts. And if you perform well in that 2-year degree, they're able to say, okay, we'll take you. So then you can go to these bigger universities like the UFs, USFs, and you can finish a bachelor's program there, right? So that's another thing as well. When I mentioned it's never too late, right? Like I said, it's always come down to, are you willing to ask those questions? Are you willing to put in the work from this point forward?
But those scholarships, do they depend on your immigration status, or anybody
Yes.
can be qualified?
They do. They
They
do
do.
depend on your qualify. Some of them do, some of them don't. There's some that are specifically designed for people like the Dream Kids, right? Stuff like that. Stuff like financial aid. Those they do look at your immigration status for those. Largely, so out of the sea on a case-by-case basis, because there's so many different immigration types, right? So I can't tell you right now off the top of my head if you're C12, what you can get, right? But 9 times out of 10, it's very rare that I see students, I have seen them who don't qualify based on their immigration status, right? So I don't want to say everyone can do it, right? That's the same for scholarship, the same with financial aid. It could even be the same thing with Broward College. You may not even allowed to become a degree-seeking student depending on your immigration status. But I don't want you guys to think that we're gonna like get you guys in trouble, right? I don't want you guys to think if there may be people who are here under ineligible, right, immigration status. You go to Broward College, you tell us, and we're going to call the police. That's not what we do, okay? If it's not eligible, we'll tell you, unfortunately, you can't be a degree-seeking student, and then that's it. You go your way, we go our ways, right? But that's definitely, so if anyone's too afraid of their immigration status, afraid of maybe, getting taken, do not be afraid. Just come have the conversation. If you're not, and then we can walk away. It's like we never talked, right?
It seems that, I don't know, but it seems that if you come with a bachelor degree already, they don't give you any financial aid. Because it happened to me, I get started over there, I start paying because they say the scholarship will come. I already have a master's and a bachelor, I didn't qualify for anything.
Yeah. So the big thing with financial aid is that one thing that they look at are the amount of credits you have, right? So for example, financial aid is not going to be forever. You can't just take classes for 10 years and then expect financial aid to pay for it all, right? Unfortunately, I wish that's how it worked. That's not how it works, right? So they have a bunch of constraints, right? Where you have to complete a program within a specific time frame, right? Or pacing, and you can't go over a certain credit limit. So financial aid, for example, largely when it comes to the grants are predominantly for the bachelor level programs. Anything higher than that, they will not pay for. If you already have a bachelor's, they're not gonna pay for the bachelor's. They're not gonna pay for another one, right? That'd be cool if I can go keep doing them, right? And that's the same, unfortunately, even for institutions that are out of the country, which sucks because sometimes you come in with that bachelor's education from the previous, and I know sometimes I see this at Broward College, we tell you to evaluate your transcripts, we evaluate your transcripts, and then we tell you, yeah, none of it's equivalent. So now you have to go do the whole thing over from start to finish, and then now you also don't qualify for financial aid. So it's something that I believe I don't like how it works, but unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles. So a lot of times, what I would advise students who are coming with especially a higher level education. So sometimes they may come with some credits, we can work around that, but if you come with a bachelor's, a lot of times bigger universities have their own evaluation processes where they can actually grant you a US equivalent of that bachelor's, assuming you make up any discrepancies you have. So for example, a student can have a bachelor's in engineering in Haiti. They come to something like FAU, they take like an exam, I think it's called like the TOEFL. It's an English exam, right, where they make sure your English is up to par, and then they evaluate your transcripts. They say, okay, you're missing a science class, you're missing one math class, you're missing a writing class, and then if you take those classes, we can grant you that US equivalent degree. We do not have something like that at Broward College. So if you have a bachelor's, if you have anything higher than a bachelor's, I advise you, Broward College is not the place for you. Or else you're going to be stuck in that same thing where they make you, I have people who are dental hygienists in their own field, right? 6, 7 years, they come here and they tell them, nope, you have to start from complete scratch. They're taking anatomy and physiology, they're taking all these dental classes that they have years of experience under, and they make them take it again, right?
So if you, for example, he came with a bachelor, if he wants to study at Broward College, can he go only with his high school diploma, not consider his bachelor? Do you think do you think this is a good idea?
So, no. If you went to any institution outside of Broward College, outside of anywhere, you are required to tell us. You have to tell us. As soon as we find out, we're putting it on your file that you told us. But you have to tell us, okay? As soon as you say, you leave your mouth, you graduated from a college in Haiti, we're putting it on your record and we're requiring you to send us those transcripts, right? And you have to tell us, okay?
Let me answer this way quick.
Oh yeah. Let me just say this again, just make sure I don't get in trouble.
I'm trying to help you real quick here. Because I have a lot of teachers that come in from Haiti, they ask for a transcript. There's a place in Miami. I got the locations. They all go in and get the transcript evaluated, and they send it to the Department of Education. based on the class you're taking in Haiti, they will say, oh, you can teach math, or you can teach science. Then while you're in teaching in Broward County School, they will pay. Broward County School will pay for your master. If you come in with a bachelor, they will take your transcript, evaluate your transcript, and they will give you a statement of eligibility, tell you which subject you can teach. Like you say, technical engineering, electrical, definitely they're going to do a math teacher. And you become a math teacher there, you just use the system. Just teach for 2, get your master's degree, pay, and then you get yourself out of education. And go back, just do what you want to do. Take your master for the major you want to be. 230 yet. So a lot of teachers from Jamaica, Haiti, coming with a transcript from their country, and they're teaching a math school as a substitute teacher. But while you are a substitute teacher, get paid for your master. Balkan is paid for your master. Our schools.
Sometimes the Spanish speakers, they have more, no, would they say that? They are more perspicacious, perhaps, than us. They don't speak English, but they try to teach anyway at Broward College. I take some classes from Broward College. They don't know English, but they try to connect the words together, so they teach anyway. But us as Haitian, we want to speak the language perfectly before we can be a teacher, because sometimes a student asks questions, they cannot answer the question correctly. That's a big problem we have, because we are not. We need more confidence, you know.
They have ESOL program everywhere. Take ESOL classes and take advantage. I mean, I have teachers in my classroom that barely speak English. The kids say they don't understand it. She's teaching now. Because she's Spanish, she can do it. She did it.
Just remember, again, emphasis. Please, if you went to a post-secondary institution, you have to let us know. Do not lie. Please. We may or may not find out, but we should tell the truth. You should tell us institutions you went to, and it's required. Say it again.
For instance, my wife went to school in Haiti when she was graduate, and she didn't take this paperwork with her. And now she wanna get this paperwork to start to go to school. That school that she went to no longer exists. What can she do in that situation?
So when that happens, at least at Broward College, all we need to do, or all we need to see, is that you tried. If you tried to reach out to the school, if you tried to call them, you sent emails, you got no response, then we're not going to require you to bring it. But we have to see that you tried. You can't just say it's discontinued, you never reached out, you never contacted, nothing like that, and then expect us to just get rid of it. If we see that you tried and they just don't exist, no one's reaching out to you, you're doing everything you can, they're not reaching out, then we're not going to force you to bring it, because that's unfair to you, right? You did everything in your power to get those transcripts, right? But you weren't able to get it. That shouldn't mean that you're not now able to go to school anymore, right? So that's why we have that in place.
Thank you. She's been stuck for 2 years because of that transcript she can get.
Yeah, if she can show Broward College, I don't know what it is for any other institutions and any of those. I'm not too sure about their process. But if you show us that you tried, you show us those emails, the contacts, and they never reached out, they never sent it, then we're not gonna have you bring it. So you don't have to bring it.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So the biggest thing usually with Broward College is there's no entrance exam. It's just placements. So if they graduated outside of the U.S., they'll take an English test.
Sige moun ki pa kompon sa yo tap pale a, pati sa yo tap pale tale a se ke sou sorti dans l'autre pays avec on va étudier dans l'autre pays Haïti, t'as sou sorti professeur, yo t'a parlé que gen avantage pour gen façon ou ka yo ka souvenir avec transcript pour gen programme nous ka utiliser pour aider nous pour nous continuer l'école ici ou bien puis traduire ça nous te apprendre dans l'autre pays. Par contre, si c'est Kaline voulait ban nous plus de détails de ça yo so dia pour nous plus bien comprendre ça yo te dire parce que me connais gon pile nan nous qui vinn dans pays avec l'autre bail so ça pour un avantage pour nous toutes.
Eh bien, OK. Nous gagnons une dernière question et puis moi vais répéter ça ça se Didine dit. Dernière question nous gagnons, we have another questions. If you from out of country, do they have a special financial aid for international students?
No. So if you're international, in fact, so international students a little bit different. So an international student is you're in another country, right? You live in Haiti, you want to come to US to study, right? The first thing that they require you is to have enough money to pay for school. That's the first thing they require, right? So if you're coming from out of the country and you need financial aid and you're here with the like eligible, you know, immigration to be here, then yes, you can do things like well, I don't want to say you can't do FAFSA because it'll still depend on your immigration status and stuff like that. I can't think off the top of my head because there's a bunch. There's so many. But so there's nothing specifically for international students, unfortunately, because.
Any other questions? Because we're gonna move to the next guest. Okay. Tout rapport. Nous connaissons un peu de monde qui sorti Haïti, qui vient avec degré, qui vient avec bachelor degree ou bien associé. C'est très important pour nous entendre ça. Nous ka faire joindre ensemble avec moi, nous ka joindre ensemble avec guest speaker ça moi gagnant parce que il dit comme ça que nous ka gen côté au ka aller puis au traduire pourquoi ça me dit puis au ka bétonner équivalent classe ou gain même qui ka même aider. Eh bien OK. Non, ça c'est pour éducation. Pour tout comment
Le pour taper sur le téléphone, nous s'il ni office, et puis la boîte adresse la Miami, et puis vous voyez. Yeah.
Yes, that's nice.
S'il ni S.
Joseph S. Sony?
Yeah, s'il ni Joseph.
Yes,
Yeah,
Sony
s'il ni
Joseph. Yes.
Joseph.
We do accept those. Oh, that's another thing I make sure. So whenever you get your transcripts evaluated, we will not accept them from whatever services. We have a list of translators or evaluators that we accept. Right? Joseph and Sony, they are one of those. So if you have with those, then we do accept those.
Last questions and then Miss Laura.
Sorry, that's my last question for you. Do I know Broward now do offer some how do I say that? Some professional class like AC, electric, and stuff like that. Do you have any information on those program, or did they offer any scholarship or something like that?
So we do have technical classes like that, and we do have technical programs, but I would encourage you, if you're really into a technical trade, to look at a technical school. So Broward College is not a technical school. So for example, if you want to do HVAC, for example, if you want to become an electrician, we don't have specific programs for that to get you certifications. You would have to go to a technical school. One, for example, right next to the North Campus in Coconut Creek is Atlantic Technical College, ATC. That is an institution that you would want to go to if you're interested in the trade. There's that. I think there's Sheridan, McFadder. Those are those technical schools. If you want to get those technical type of degrees, that's where you'd want to go. I would encourage you, if you go on the Broward College website, you'll see all the programs that we offer. Right? And if you see there's one specifically you really like, you're interested in, you can go for it. But I would still encourage you, those technical schools equip you with their certifications to where when you finish it, you can immediately start working. Right?
Okay. Thank you. Miss Laura, you have the floor.
Good afternoon again, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Nous sommes matin, but you did pour essayer mettre en phase sur career. So I can say probably from a very young age that I had some idea the direction I was going to go in, but it became clearer as I got older. So growing up, we had a chalkboard in the house. Chalk, some people don't even know what chalk is in the children's group now, but then it eventually became a marker board. So my dad teaches math, and although math wasn't my area, eventually I found English was my zone. And so after undergrad, I almost immediately went to work shadowing English instructors till I instructed some courses myself. I can say without a doubt that when students don't have the basics, English, math, they struggle a lot when they enter the college scene. And it can affect them later on in, in their work life, depending on sometimes which work they do. Comme moi te fait dans le pays, il y a des gens qui ont dit, oh, ok, ou pas de difficulté, parce que anglais c'était langue. It's true, no problem. But because I'm a person who likes languages, parce que moi j'aime le langage, moi j'ai décidé by tête moi un challenge. So, en 2014 là, il pas pour un an, I'm just going to correct something Sir Claudine t'a dit matin. Pour 5 mois, j'étais enseigné anglais au Mexique. Pas pas première langue, il pas même deuxième langue, but j'étais apprendre espagnol en high school. Apprendre en high school, c'est pas même bagaille là où l'on pays. Just like n'importe monde qui vient de Haïti ou au Brésil ou n'importe l'autre côté, pour nous apprendre langue là, c'est pour nous pratiquer langue là. Nous langue là pas simplement venir là nous-mêmes comme ça. So éviter rester dans petit groupe propre haïtien, pas dire que on pas parler langue. Nous pas oublier. Trust me, it'll be here. Même si nous capable parler le concours même pita, but pas même quoi ça pour arriver nous. Nous parlons toujours une langue maternelle nous. Fait effort en anglais, même si nous faisons erreur. I made plenty of mistakes in Spanish, but believe you me, Spanish was the language I spoke while I was in Mexico because I had to. When I was teaching the kids in English, I had to speak in English. But when I was in the marketplace, in the touristic sites, wherever else I went, if I had to pull out my dictionary, I pulled out my dictionary. If I had to ask somebody for help, pas quitter si on moun appris ou, you know, pas quitter ça empêcher ou apprendre langue là. Faire erreur yo, j'en pour faire erreur parce que c'est comme ça ou pour avancer là, c'est de raison. There's no other way around it. Again, you want to succeed. You're in the country where English is the lingua franca. Ça c'est le langage là que vous pouvez utiliser pour servir dans plusieurs domaines de travail. It's just what you have to do. Pas gen l'autre gens pour me dire. I mean, you just have to. So while English is the language I did grow up in, it doesn't mean that it's the only language I use, but it is the language that I strongly encourage. Si nous pouvons faire carrière nous dans le pays ça, pour nous faire effort de jour en jour. Songez encore, nous pas perdre la langue maternelle nous, but c'est pour nous faire tout effort qui est possible de nous-mêmes pour nous apprendre anglais. So, if you guys have any other questions, I mean, I can, yeah, I don't want to say any more that doesn't have. Ça c'est simplement pour montrer nous une comparaison de au monde qui était pays, même si là c'est des choix, but parce que je connais que c'est pas de l'engagement, c'est pour me faire un pile effort pendant que l'autre bois. Même là c'est 5 mois seulement, pas fort l'employeur là jusqu'à aujourd'hui, but me fait effort de jour en jour pendant l'autre bois jusqu'à ce que pas besoin d'aide moun toute la journée ou soit au dictionnaire pour me traduire tout bail. So, me dit ça pour encourager nous. And for those who are born in this country or were in this country from a very young age, please, please, please do not take lightly English and math. Those skills, they will carry you very far. And if you are still in high school or in middle school, please do your absolute best to pass those exams that you take, those courses that you're registered for with the highest of scores. Because again, to spend time in remediation, because those were the courses I taught for English, it can slow you down. Financial aid won't be covering you, as my brother said, forever. Sometimes students think they can keep taking those classes over and over until they finally master it. Unfortunately, by the time they need to take the courses for their major, there's no more money. It's run out. So do be wise in the decisions that you make. And while English was my background in undergrad, I am pursuing a legal career because of so many of the problems I see in New York. So, des fois, nous avons pensé qu'un seul chemin nous pas suivre un seul chemin dans la vie à net, but ou pas jamais connaître qui ça qui a cause que pour faire un trajet différent. So c'est l'un trajet l'un carrière légale parce que moi un pile problème là housing avec travail dans zone New York là. So c'est l'un carrière ça l'un domaine ça choisi pour traverser. But it's never too late to start. Il pas jamais trop tard pour nous commencer. So si nous gagnons your an idea of something you want to start, ask questions, as the brother said earlier. Brother Vlad, right? Thank you. Sorry. And as Sister Cook, I think it was, mentioned about while certain opportunities may not have presented themselves when some of us were going to school, there are definitely many more now. You have to ask questions in order to find out. For example, in New York, and I don't say this to necessarily encourage you to come to New York, but if you ever decide to come to New York, there is an Excelsior program where if you are eligible, and eligibility is just having to maintain 30 credits for an academic year. So it could be 15 credits, or 12 and 18, or whatever it is, the combination, and you can even do summer. Just as long as you maintain that for your 4 years, or however many years upon becoming eligible, you would have to work for the city of New York or the state of New York, and that would be like your return to the city. And so that means technically you would be somewhat guaranteed a job after school, but you'd have to stay committed to the program. So gagne on série de programme ou ka joindre bénéfice si ou rete course là. So these are some suggestions that I have. If you have any questions, again, my area or my state is New York, but it could still apply on a national level.
Moi, j'ai une question. Vous parlez de langage que vous apprenez à parler espagnol. Est-ce que vous pensez que, ou bien est-ce que vous encouragez, do you encourage people, si vous parlez anglais déjà, est-ce que vous encouragez pour apprendre espagnol? Parce que quand le côté, moi, ou aller, yo demandé pour parler espagnol as a second language, ou bien même là, vous parlez anglais, but vous voulez espagnol là. Do you encourage us to learn Spanish as a second language to help us in our resumes?
Very good question. En général, plus langage vous gagnez, le plus efficace. Parce que imaginez, si vous pouvez appliquer pour un série de travail et vous dites, vous préférez un monde qui parle espagnol, ou soit préférez un monde qui parle créole, ou soit mandarin, même ça c'est un langage que j'ai commencé, mais beaucoup vraiment capté. Ou n'importe l'autre langage, vous dites, vous préférez. Même là, ça c'est pas un bail, vous dites, ou obligé de gagner. Mais imaginez, si on l'autre moun appliqué pour lui, moun sa gagne langage ça l'amène. Je ne pas dire que c'est automatique, que la journée, mais vous pouvez considérer le plus facile que vous-même. So, encore pas penser que si nous apprenons un troisième, go to communities where that language is spoken. Allez dans communauté côté seul langue, yo seulement parler langage ça yo. Ou pas perdu. You can't lose when it comes to languages. At the end of the day, there are interpreter jobs, there are, translator positions, there are just so many different things out there, but you have to try to master it. It's not just a few words and think, okay, I got the job. No, because they will ask you to actually speak, more than just a few phrases. So take that into consideration when you're pursuing your degrees. It could be a minor in a language, and that could be what gets your foot in the door. I don't know, I can't say minor. How do you say minor? Là, nous à l'école, c'est pas maîtrise, nous, c'est qu'un 4 courses, nous prenons mineur, c'est comme ça, nous disons, all right, fine. Nous apprenons le langage. Ou pas, je ne connais si c'est pas ça, là, nous allons interview, nous allons discuter avec nous pour nous comprendre si c'est on bail, nous t'es vraiment prêté attention, ou soit si nous t'es prenons simplement pour crédit. So, again, it could be a plus in you securing the job that will eventually maybe become the path, the career path that you decide to take.
Pas de question?
I guess now it's my turn now. Guys, no more say Andy. My name is Andy DeJour, and my background is in business. And I say business, the same thing should be in the effects of party. That's a career choice. And people that they call, they go to school, just go to school. Because imagine you go to school for 4 years and come back home, Mom, I gotta live with you, gotta give me a room to stay. So to me, it doesn't make no sense. I was reading something the other day that says 86% of kids that go to school, they go to school for the wrong thing. They go to school, they come back home, they can't find no jobs because they didn't check online to see in the next 5 years how much money I'm gonna be making. In the next 5 years, is this thing gonna be available? Because some stuff you go to school for is in demand right now, but that doesn't mean in the next 5 years it's gonna be in demand. I mean, if you see right now, they have robots that's taking a lot of jobs. So if you're not well qualified, you won't be able to do anything. And it's unfortunate, like we see all these kids, when you ask them, the 11th grade, what you gonna go to school for? I don't know. I wanna be a blogger. What is a blogger? I wanna be a YouTuber. What is a YouTuber? That doesn't mean you're gonna make it as a YouTuber. And you gotta find something, guys, that you like. Something that when you go to school, when you finish, something that's gonna stay here. Wherever you go, even you get fired from this job, you're gonna go to a place, it's here. It's not like in your hand, it's here, it's in your head. And I have a friend of mine the other day, we were talking the other day, and we were playing ball, and he works for FPNL. And my son was with me, and he was like, what did you send your son to learn mechanical engineer? Or what's the other one? He was saying mechanical engineer. See, the other one was electrical engineer. Electrical engineer. FPL will hire you right after you finish FEU. They will take you. He's been with them for 18 years now, and he's making good money. And he works pretty much every day because they don't have enough engineer. Even me, in the business that I am, I look for engineer all the time. You have to track them down. C'est pour aller des plans, c'est pour faire mettre ça sous plan pour. Il a qu'à va courir de tout côté là pour faire un plan même. Because we don't have enough engineer. Because every kid is trying to do the same thing. Everybody's trying to do the same thing. They want my friend is doing this, I'm going to do it too. But remember, you're not going to school for your friend. You're going to school for yourself. Because your friend going to be a doctor doesn't mean you're going to be a doctor to yourself. You could be an engineer, you could be anything else. Because if you go to school for the wrong thing, you're going to be suffering. It's like you finish with school, you go back to school again. You finish, you got a 4-year degree, you know what, I went to school for the wrong thing, let me go back again. Remember, you're not getting any younger. So if you go in there for 4 years, now you're 22. You go back again for another 4 years, that's 26. That's 26. So you keep going and going and going and going and going. And one day your parents get tired. I mean, are you going to get a job? Are you going to leave the house? Because remember, we had to take our time too. So, apil nga parler pour moun qui haïtien qui viennent ici surtout. Apil haïtien qui viennent ici, Haïti, ils ont travail pour EDH. They ont travail dans courant. When they come here, I don't want to be an electrician no more. Moi, je veux venir en avocat. Think about it. Ou travail in FPL ou fait electrical work. Do you know how much money I'm paying electrician to do work for me? Call someone to come to your house for electrical work. They're gonna come. You just fais comme ça. Okay, you know what? Give me $5,000. Huh? $5,000 for what? For 2 days of work. So, if you're going to do plumbing in Haiti, live in the city, you plumbing encore. Do you know how much you can be making doing plumbing? It's a lot of money you guys can make. It's that you have to pick the right thing for yourself, what's good for you, what you're good at. So if you've been doing it for over 10 years, 15 years, why not replicate the same thing here in this country? And you make way more money in this country. It's way easier. And on va bien on feel blanc, on feel noir, on feel tout cool in tout cas, c'est wired the right way. So it's the same thing that you take from home when you come and you bring it here. Use what you have to advance yourself. Don't try to get something new because tête busy la busy. And remember, it's in English too. C'est anglais too. So lo vini qui n'a pour apprendre langue là, n'a pour no new career, and but electrical, when you flip the switch, it's the same thing if you flip it at home. In Haiti, it's the same switch. Même si vous avez tout le temps, but it's the same way you flip up and down. But when you come here, you don't want to do this no more. I want to do something else. You move to the next one. It's like you put yourself in a bad situation. And my young kids, you guys that's going to school right now, guys, pick something that's gonna get you money. Because the reason why you go to school is to make money. Pas un gars l'école parce que c'est l'école. Même pas l'école. L'école, she doit faire 8 ans. I just want to go learn. No, you go out there. That's why you have a lot of nurses now. Parce que c'est la gagnante, c'est la wale. But some of them don't even like it. They just go out there because they can make money off of it. That's why they go out there. Me, let me figure this out, my l'école. My parents, they wanted to be a doctor. When I used to say doctor, engineer. When I say one class, I'm going to say your class. Why? Because it's not me. Let me switch to business. I'm going to like the because I was mine. If I took one qui can become an engineer, if I took one qui can become a doctor, but we all here, we got a purpose in life. We have our own thing. Parce que bon Dieu il y a un plan pour c'est pour le plan pour le faire river un côté, c'est plan ça il y a pour vous. Ou même c'est suivre plan par là. Suivre do what you gotta do. Prier bon Dieu, faire bon Dieu montre qui plan gain pour qui route li gain pour vous. Parce que nous tout qui là nous gon plan, nous gon bagage pour nous dire demain c'est vrai. Parce que même tout le monde là you be able to drive a nice car, be able to have a nice house. Why not? Why not? Si nous quittons tout le pays, nous passons tout le pays aux États-Unis, c'est qu'on va aller chercher là. Let nous vivre là, make something out of it. Even the young kids, if you were born here, I know that you guys are not paying attention, but one day you guys say, you know what? They have said something good. You guys whoever's going to college right now, pick something. I mean, I know a lot of kids say, okay, school is not for me. Okay, it's not for you? Okay, go to technical school. I know plumbers right now, master plumbers that's making 40 grand a month. And I know them, I meet them. Because they're the one that does all this big construction. They're the one that start the plumbing from down and up. And you have to have a master's in plumbing. And how many years you go to school? 1 year. You go to at Lincoln Tech, you go out there, you learn it, and you make so much money. You don't want to go to school for 4 or 5 years? Do something. But I still believe school is still the fastest way to success. I say, low at l'école, ou ka fait l'argent. Low at l'école is like, let's say someone that's working for a gas station. You know what? I'm going to school. Why do they want to go to school? Because they know if they go to school, they're going to get something better. Even sometimes, but once you have that little diploma they give you, they'll trust you more. They will give you more respect. And now you're making way more money. You make things, it's happy. Now you're happy, everybody's happy, your family is happy, we all happy. Moi, je fais business. C'est business que je fais, je travaille pour comme. But before, there was something else I was doing. It started from somewhere. If you're going to start from school, make sure you go to school for the right thing. Make sure you go things that going to bring you value. Like when you go to a place, they check you, they say, you know what, this guy knows what he's doing. I have a guy that's doing some work for me right now, okay, in the house for 4 days, electrical work, $5,000 for 4 days, and I gotta pay him. And he was the only one that's the cheapest guy that I found. And all the other guys, bro, it's been raining all week. A lot of places has problem. When it's flooding, electrical have problem. They not even call me back because they're too busy right now. So it's a lot out there for you guys. If you want to do a 4-year degree, go get it 6 months. Go get a year. Go get a year and a half. Just go out there, knock yourself out, do what you gotta do to be the best to be the best version of yourself. Okay.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So, what's the best way to find your interest? To figure out what it is you want to do?
The interest?
Yeah.
It's in you. I can come to you and tell you, okay, right now they have a shortage of engineers, okay? Would you want to be an engineer?
No.
But what you want to be? What you good at?
There's answers where you could take these tests. For example, Broward College, we have a test you can take, right? That'll basically, they'll ask you what your interests are, and then they'll align you with a specific pathway, right? So sometimes there's a test, sometimes there's not a test. Sometimes you're born lucky, sometimes you know what you want to do from a young age.
Yes.
Sometimes not. So I'm a perfect example. I did my undergrad in biology. I liked animals. I loved animals, right? Even now I still like them, right? And I ended up doing a master's in educational psychology, and now I'm an academic advisor. If you asked me would I be doing this 6 years ago, I'd tell you no. I'd tell you you're out of your mind if you think I'm an academic advisor, right? It turns out that all this time I've always enjoyed helping others, right? I just never admitted it or never looked at it. I was always told, you'd be an amazing teacher. Or, hey, you're really good at public speaking. You should start doing this. But I always tell them, no, I want to work with animals.
Where'd you go to college again?
So I went to FAU. So I went to FAU for both my undergrad, everything. I did it all at FAU. And who knows, maybe I'll go back and do biology again, right? But right now, I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing. So the hard truth is, sometimes you truly at this point, you may not know. It's up to you. It is okay. It's 100% okay. I was in a really bad situation. I was in FAU getting these dual enrollment classes for these programs, right? And imagine I started from 10th, 11th, 12th grade taking all these college credit classes for something that I don't even know if I even want to do. I started off doing accounting. I started off doing engineering, and then I started doing accounting, and then I started doing biology, but my other friends, they know they want to do med school from the jump. So with them, they knew that's what they wanted to do. So I would just say, expose yourself to so many different things. Go, read YouTube, watch YouTube videos, right, about certain things. Start looking into different professions. I think that's kind of the biggest thing, right? If you ever think of something, just look into it, right? See if there's maybe something that you're interested in, but it just comes down to, looking into it.
So I can explain to you guys how I get into business. At a young age, Simon, from the start. So my mom in Haiti, my mom c'est commerçant. I used to buy things for my mom, et mal dans l'école, mal vendre encore. M'acheter le même maman moi prendre mal dans l'école, mal vendre. Moi vini ici encore. I was selling shoes in the back of my car. I went to New York, I and I was selling shoes, I was selling clothes. Everything was in the trunk of my car. I was in college, and I'm selling shoes. Every morning, people will see me on the street. Oh, Papa tennis encore? They still know me as the guy who sells shoes in the back of his car. So this is something that I had in me. But me going to school, and I sweat shit, because Papa c'est pas un problème nan douille. I'm sorry, guys. Papa c'est un problème nan douille. So my mom wanted to have a doctor in the family. I say dentist, took class, I put a microbiology. I'm like, what is this right here? What is all this word right here? And you know what? Forget about that. I go back to my business, and I opened my own business. I've been in business since 2013. I've been on my own, and God has blessed me. But that's what I always wanted until you can sign on more. The entrepreneurship, I always have it. Depuis bon million, ma bese vendre mon café plus l'argent. C'est comme ça, mieux vendre tout ça, mieux. My friend used to call me Rakete back in Haiti. That's how they used to call me.
Well, no, I think I more understood it as how do you find out what your interests are.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say, as Vlad mentioned, trying out different things. Volunteering helps a lot because you may not be able to do internships right now, whether paid or non-paid. But if you volunteer in different areas, you can kind of get a sense of whether it is something that you like or don't like. And because, again, volunteering is not something you have to stick with indefinitely, you can try a different area until you find something that you find is more to your liking. Because I found with volunteering over the years, whether it be in high school, beyond high school, I started to find my niche. Because even though I said it seemed like education was my path, but that wasn't a guarantee. But yeah, you can volunteer in different areas, branches, and shadow people that you know who are working in different branches, just to see if it's something you might be interested in. Young man, yeah? Okay.
For me, it was, you ever think I would be in education, I would say no. To me, fashion was my number one. I would think I would be like a fashion designer, or I'll be in TV, talk to stuff like that. Not education. How I get to education? I met my husband in school. Carly know that. I met my husband in school. I have a language barrier, barely speak English. Whenever she say I love you, I just smile. I didn't even know what I love you mean. You can say you led ou belle, just oui. So, hopefully, she was always want me to go to education, but that was not my purpose. But like she said, volunteering. So I lost my job, and when I lost my job, he said, "So if you are in school right now, you would be working with me. So since you lost your job, you have nothing to do. So I want you to go to college and do this and do that." And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't think education is my thing." So while I was in college, I volunteered at his school, and I was doing a great job, I think. Then the principal, the assistant principal, get promoted to a different school to be a principal, and she wanted me to go with her. And she said, "Miss Cook, you're doing very good. Why don't you take this class? We're going to help you and pay the school for you, because you can do this, you can do that." But I put my knees down and I asked God first, est-ce que c'est ça que je fais? Mais moi, toujours, je veux que vous côté, je demander pour help. Every about l'école, au paquet de gens qui sont à Haïti, qui ne parlent pas l'anglais, yo fait un paquet de misère. Professeur, yo fait un paquet de misère. Pour them to volunteer, while I was volunteering, I saw the misère that the kids from Haiti was going through. All these things that made me say, God, I think I found my calling. I need to help these kids. The money was not a thing for me no more. It was me helping these kids. They're not knowing anything. They treat him like they don't know anything. They know what they're talking about, but they act like they don't want to hear them. So I was the only Asian person there. I said, you know what? I found my calling. And to me, I think a lot of Haitian people, they are missing out a lot of stuff because they don't have people, and when like they have a lot of Spanish people, when you go to the health department or medical place, they always have a Spanish people to help them, but you don't have a lot of Haitian people to help them. They have a lot of resources available for us, but we're not knowing that. I have Haitian people paying $300 for just filling an application. For what? They don't know. They have resources available just for unemployment. They don't know where to fill out unemployment. There's a lot of government scholarship available. There's a place called Scholarship Plug. That is Scholarship Plug. That is located in Lottie Hill. And if you're in a Lottie Hill, if you are located in Lottie Hill, the city you live in, the city of Lottie Hill, you actually qualify. You get for free to go to that center. They help you with your essay. They help you with they get a lot of scholarship available, even your kids in college. You can use my son went to college. Right now, I'm sending those applications to him right now, filling out scholarship. He went 3 different scholarships to go to college from Scholarship Plug. So, and the lady Haitian. She was born in Canada, but her parents is from Haiti. So she's here. She said she want to help Haitian, but the Haitian people don't know about that.
Well, I mean, let me put something on what you just said. The help is here. Help la. Spanish now, we help the Spanish people like them. But the Haitian, they have to charge you a fee. They have to charge you 100 here. They have to charge you 50 here. They take advantage of the situation. Like I spoke to someone the other day, the guy said he makes a lot of money in immigration. I said, you're not a lawyer. What do you mean you make a lot of money in immigration? Just for filing a form for someone. The form already costs $410. But why would you charge a person $900 for that? Come on. Now you bragging you make a lot of money. No, you stole a lot of money. You didn't make a lot of money. So the problem that when you even go to you pay, you want to guess your money encore. So we can talk and talk. We can tout après-midi à parler là. But moun qui vient côté à mando là, il vient payer mando parce que tu connais civil mando ou pas payer ou pas faire pour lui. C'est problème ça en pile nous gain qui fait kounya là nous nous à l'école là nous peut demander nous quand on est mon parfois parler créole parler créole ensemble avec il parler créole ensemble avec mais ou moi mon cas là mon parler créole ensemble avec ou essayer d'elle parce qu'il y a monde qui pas avec des personnes je dis l'aime deviner pas monde qui aider l'aime dans business pas monde qui aider faire rien I mean welcome to our world, this is our world. So c'est problème ça nous gagne dans la communauté pas nous ça que qu'on a demandé faut mon parler parole depuis mon parler parole toutes ces années mais bien ils sont parler créole ils disent quoi côté parler côté it's sad so c'est la problème là. Okay,
So my other question is, what if the interest that you want to pursue doesn't make a lot of money?
what was the question again?
What if the interest you want to pursue doesn't make a lot of money?
Everything you go to school for, I mean, everything you want in life will get you money. You say that doesn't make a lot of money? This is the first business that I tried to get money. I'm gonna tell you the first thing was I was in the car business. I have a lot of interest in it, but I didn't make money off of it at first because the person that trained me it's where you go. It's the person that you have that train you the wrong way. So I figured after 5-10 years, I figured out the way he was doing his business, that's not the way I should have been doing mine. So now when I find out the way to do it myself, I make a lot of money. But once you get yourself into something, once you put yourself in there, you push yourself. You see people doing here, they don't make money. But other people doing the same thing, they make money. You turn into a business. You turn everything you try to do, you go in it, don't go in it just to go in it. You're gonna sell bottled water, be the best at what you do. Be the best at what you do, you push yourself, and you the best, you the one they're gonna call. You the one they're gonna call when everything happened, that's the main person to call. So there's money in everything. You can have an interest, don't make money in it because it's not market yourself the right way. You just to market yourself out there, people know you, they know you the man for this right here. This guy, go see this guy. If you have a problem with this, go see this guy. If you have a problem, go see a friend. If you have a problem, go see him. So that's how it works.
And God will always provide when you are doing the work for God.
Yes.
If you're doing it for God, don't worry about how much money you make. Trust me. I had a free car from a parent. Free car, I'm driving right now from a parent.
And that's a rich parent too.
God gave me a free car last year.
I think anything you learn, you can make money of it. Even there's no money on it, it's all creativity. So depending how you're gonna do it. You have to do it differently.
Yeah,
That's the only thing you have to think about. Do it differently than everybody else.
That's the biggest thing.
That's
You
it.
have to make sure that you show that you're unique. So I'm gonna I feel like, you know, when he's talking, the first thing I think of is like people who want to do something. Like, for example, you mentioned YouTube, right? A lot of young kids, they wanna stream playing video games, right? Because they like playing video games. They're like, I don't want to make money off of it. And there's people who make millions of dollars off this. Millions of dollars, right? 10 people probably, right? Out of 300 million people can probably do that. And why? Sometimes it's meant to be, sometimes it's not. Right? That's the hard truth. It's like you could think of it with sports, right? With basketball. People I think I'm really good at basketball. Right? I think, why not? I think if I work the stereotypical answer is work hard and you'll achieve it, right? If I work super hard, maybe I can become an NBA star. It doesn't happen all the time, right? So that's why sometimes you can lean on God for that, right? So definitely that's the biggest thing is, listen, if you think you really believe in it and you have a passion for it, work hard, right? Sometimes it'll take time, right? But as long as you keep relying on God, you know, talking with them, 100%, it'll always work out in the end. That's always the biggest thing.
Just listen to yourself. Just listen to yourself. Put yourself out there.
And I'll just add, when it comes to, let's say, your passion not being maybe as lucrative, something that generates as much money as perhaps you'd need for living, consider other sources of income, because it's never good to have just one. Different streams of income. Obviously, that would take a whole seminar, but you might want to research what you can do to get more money from other areas so that your income grows and you have money coming from different sources as well.
Can I say?
One thing I was gonna say to the kid who asked me the question. When you start doing something, see, if it's not your dad that leaves you something, that leave your legacy, leave some money for you or something, you're gonna work hard. You're gonna have to wake up early. You gotta be doing what other people is not doing in order for you to make it. So wake up early, pay attention to your goals every day, ask God for direction. If it's what something he wants for you, but trust me, even you ask God for direction, he's gonna put you in a situation to see if it's what you want for real. You're gonna get to a point, you know what, I don't wanna do it no more. It's in so many times. I said, you know what, it's too much for me, I'm gonna stop. And the next day, bon Dieu vous bagay. You don't even know where this thing come from. And my wife was behind me too. She was the one telling me, yes, you can do it, you can do it. It's not gonna be easy. If I say it's gonna be easy, I'm a liar. I'll be lying to you right now. But if you really, really want it, you're gonna make room, you're gonna dream it, you're gonna think about it, you're gonna be in your car thinking about it, you're gonna find ways to make it better. That's what makes you a good businessman, a good person, someone that think about, okay, you know what, the time is changing. Right now it's very hard out there for business. You know what? Let me switch this way. Let me see how I can put my business out there to make more money. Let me switch. Now everything is on YouTube. Let me put my business on YouTube. Let me put my business on Facebook. Let me do more advertising. So we have to work with the time. Like the time we are right now is a time where everything is technology. You put your business out there. Put your business out there, people can see it from other states. They can call you, you have this kind of business, I need your help, I need that from you, I need you to demand for that. How much do you charge? When can you come? How can I come see you? All this right here, you have to be the best at whatever you do. That's why I always tell my kids, be the best at what you do. And remember, like she was saying earlier, our brown and black kids, trust me, it's harder for us. It's very hard for us. And when you get to a place, the amount of thing they ask you just to get a contract, the other person come, just one piece of paper, they get the contract. But you, they have to ask you for a million of piece of paper. Is that mon paquet papier sur des pieds ou il vient en bas comme ça? Pour qui ça m'a ça? Because remember, when Americans say, you were born here, this still exists. I've seen it, it happened, but don't let this bother you. Don't let this stop you from doing what you want to do. You can do it. And I know you guys are smart. A bunch of smart kids. I'm looking at a bunch of smart people here. Y'all can do it. I can see you guys can do it. You guys can do it. And if I can do it with a little bit of help that I have, y'all can do better than me. I have to learn the language. I didn't speak no English when I come here. I had to go to college. I didn't have no papers. I had to do it on my own. So you guys have all the big benefits. Being born here, you don't have to go through immigration process. Like my daughter was asking me, what's a green card, Daddy? They don't know what is a green card. They don't know what this, you guys don't know what is a green card. What do you need a green card for? So all these things you guys have, use what you have. Use it as your advantage to be the best what you can.
Thank you, guys. Pour l'autre moun yo, pour nous gen information qui dans télévision, isol class. Si nous scan ça, li ap di nous ki bon pour nous aller for isol class. Surtout pour moun qui fait vini yo, moun qui sorti Brésil yo, Haïti yo. Da m'kwa adresse li bon la kay moi. Et y a commencé qui le faut avec les, vous connaissez? En septembre classe là a commencé. Scan téléphone ensemble avec pour Kawel. Ça ingénieur font erreur. C'est pas find financial help, non, c'est findhelp.org. Là aller là-dedans, findhelp.org, ou mettez zip code pour moun qui single mom, moun qui comment pour veuve yo et puis si t'as n'importe help ou besoin ou besoin. On y mettez zip code ou besoin. Faut bien clair, ou ka élaborer?
Non, findhelp.org là, c'est un coup de machine en panne. ou son single mother, ou pas de mari, ou pour compte tout, ou besoin de l'argent pour qu'il y ait d'eau, pour payer ranger machine dans vous. Supposez, quand soit aide ou besoin, là, bon, vous êtes dans pile. Ou mettez aller dans findhelp.org, et puis mettez zip code, ou après toute aide qui est available pour vous même dans la zone là.
Pour tout le monde qui
Pour tout le monde net, tout le monde. Hein?
Non, pour tout le monde qui
Non, pour tout le monde, oui, mais toute qualité aide, il y a des gens qui sont mari, sous madame tout, ou pour compte tout. Ou besoin aide tout, oui. Vous comprenez?
He's just playing. He's just
Hein?
playing.
Pour qui est-ce? Ou a besoin d'aide pour nous toute catégorie monde qui aide pour toute catégorie monde tout ça. Son nèg qui monte avant elle là. Avant elle monte mon bagage pour aider nous là. Oui, bon il monte me que te parler pour bailler là.
Malade ou jeune.
Yes.
Et donc ou jeune help pour tout.
Toute bagage mettez zip code et puis là toute aide qui est là. Pour vous même, ou chercher catégorie pour là.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scanly.
Allons là essayer findhelp.org. C'est comme pays, c'est grand nèg qui met comme là. On peut pour que plus grand nèg parmi nous là pour mettre comme available pour nous. Et ça va nous faire. Et puis ils sont là, c'est dans Wakanda avec Kimberly, où l'école elementary school ça là, c'est là il y a une classe Isol ça là. L'a commencé en septembre. Si quelqu'un qui veut aller, ou qu'a faire ouais avec m'a fait ouais avec les professeurs même. Et puis, on va inscrire, et puis en septembre, on va commencer par l'anglais. Bon, novembre là, on va dans Thanksgiving, les Christmas, on va les amis.
Okay, guys. Si nous te remet, if you like what Vlad, no, not Vlad. If you like what Andy, Laura, Vlad, and Rosalind did, but bravo. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yo vini la nan ikrele yo di yo tande se pour aider the community, yo di kon sa it's a pleasure to help. So nous souhaitons toute information ça yo et que nous prenons yo nous pour nous utiliser yo spécialement pour moun qui besoin fil papier yo. Par exemple nous depuis on moun la kon fil papier pour une aider une ak l'autre nous pas besoin dépenser en pile l'argent. Nous te remet ça Andy te dire. Merci Andy, Laura and Vlad, my nephew. I just remember him. And Miss Cook, oh, bestie back in. I know her, yeah. Thank you. Oh, ma petite fait en fait ensemble avec directrice nous. Et après ça, on a une révision de la leçon. Derrière.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Especially thank you, the guest speakers. I've learned a lot myself. And
Oh, guys, no.
We're ending. We're not finished. We're ending right now. Less than a minute. We want to thank everyone for staying. Tout le monde nous dit merci pour rester nous participer and for your attention. Thank you guys, the youth, for participating. We really appreciate it. And then nous voulons dire merci tout que nous prenons que nous venons assister moi avec Sekaline des moun qui pas organisé. Nous venons supporter nous. So nous disons merci pour ça. Nous disons merci pour ça que nous venons supporter nous. Et pour nous, n'a pas tout le monde camper connaît là pour nous.
So yeah, for a quick word of prayer. Go ahead, Dizine. Dear Heavenly Father.
Éternel notre Père et notre Dieu, nous sommes sur le point de mettre un terme à ce grand programme. Généralement, quand nous reprochons nous-mêmes qui avons vécu ici avant, nous avons fait venir, nous ne connaissons pas qui ça pour faire, et nous-mêmes qui connaissons, nous gardons pour compte nous. C'est bien malheureux que pas de assez d'advertisement qui était fait autour de programme après-midi, même quoi que tout le monde qui était là est satisfait, et nous disons merci parce que information c'est pouvoir que oui. Nous sommes capables de bénir panélistes là. Chaque monde qui est composé, il y a une vie personnelle par eux tout, capable de bénir avec ma famille et comme ça, il est capable toujours disposer et disponible pour capable partager avec les frères haïtiens, et bien des informations qui pourraient aider nous pour que nous soyons capables de tirer profit de tout avantage qui existait ici aux États-Unis d'Amérique. Généralement, on dit son pays d'opportunité. Oui, c'est vrai, mais il faut qu'on qui va pour jouer une opportunité. Ça. Alors que vous pouvez le déplacer, qu'on est capable d'envoyer, permettre que vous capable d'arriver à destination sain et sauf, et nous-mêmes qui apprêtés pour quelques bonnes minutes, qu'on est capable de bénir pour nos programmes et bénir une fois encore le département de l'éducation. En temps et côté exauce, pardonne, nous prions dans nom Jésus qui vient qui demeure au siècle des siècles.
Amen. Amen. Merci tout le monde. Go question, Vlad.
Cake.
Sorry.
For the graduates, don't forget there's cake in the back.
Cake in the back. And Juice, tell it. Vlad, if you live in West Palm Beach, do you have do the Palm Beach Community College has that too? Pledge to Success? No?
Pledge to Success is for Broward.
Okay, you don't know anything about Palm Beach, right? Yes. You don't know, but
I have a PowerPoint because you know I'm not.
the PowerPoint that you're gonna send me?
I have
Okay.
I always have them come in. So I come by my PowerPoint, we publish it in color. Some of the things that he said is not on my PowerPoint. So you guys can like.
Spend whole days